My name is Maryam. I was 23 when my world began to crumble. We lived in an old house on the very edge of the city. You know the kind, the ones that seem to breathe, where the walls whisper secrets and the doors sigh with every gust of wind. I've always loved quiet places. I loved staying up late in my room, reading by the window, watching the rain trace paths down the cold glass. I thought I was alone in my solitude. I was wrong. The first time I heard the voice, I was studying. It was a whisper, coming from just behind me, soft but impossibly clear. It called my name, Maryam. I whipped my head around, but the room was empty, still. I brushed it off, told myself it was just my imagination working overtime. But then the whisper came again, closer this time, so close it felt like someone was breathing against my ear. My heart hammered against my ribs. I froze, too afraid to move, too afraid to believe what I was hearing. That night, I dreamed of a man. He was tall, with skin as pale as moonlight, and strangely, hauntingly beautiful. But his eyes were as black as coal, with no white in them at all. In the dream, he reached out his hand to me and said, in a voice that felt both ancient and intimate, "Don't be afraid. I'm with you." I woke up gasping for air, my chest tight, his words still echoing in the silence of my room. That dream wasn't a one-time thing. It came back, night after night. And then, things started happening when I was awake. It began with my mirror. A shadow started appearing behind my reflection, the distinct figure of a man, standing silently, watching. But every time I turned around, convinced someone was there, I found nothing, just an empty room. I tried to rationalize it, to blame it on stress, but a cold dread was settling deep in my bones. I knew something was terribly wrong. I started to change. My face grew paler, my eyes darker, and my voice became softer, almost a whisper itself. One night, my mother came into my room and found me talking to my reflection in the mirror, smiling. She looked concerned. "Who are you talking to, Maryam?" she asked gently. I turned to her, my smile unwavering, and replied, "Him. Don't be afraid, he loves me." Her face went pale. After that night, things escalated. My parents started hearing footsteps in my room when no one was there. They swore they saw a man's shadow flicker past my doorway in the dead of night. Terrified, my father called a religious healer. The man arrived, his presence filling our tense home with a quiet authority. He began reciting verses from the Quran while I sat quietly on my bed. At first, nothing happened. The air was still. Then, my body started to shake, a tremor that grew into a violent convulsion. My own voice changed, twisting into something deeper, a man's voice, and I heard myself say, "Leave her. She's mine. I protected her since she was a child." The words hung in the air, chilling everyone to the bone. My father froze, his eyes wide with terror. The healer raised his voice, his recitation becoming more forceful, more urgent. But I, or the voice using me, screamed, crying real tears, "Don't hurt him. He doesn't want to harm me." When I came to, the room felt heavy with fear. Everyone was staring at me, their faces a mixture of pity and terror. The healer looked exhausted. He turned to my father and said gravely, "It's a Jinn lover. He's been attached to her for years." From that day on, my life was no longer my own. Normalcy became a distant memory. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I would just sit by the window for hours on end, smiling into the darkness, whispering to someone only I could see, only I could hear. One rainy night, his voice came to me again, soft, intimate, right beside my bed. "Come with me," he whispered. "I'm waiting." Without a second thought, I got up. I opened the window, letting the cool, damp air rush in. And then, everything went black. The next morning, my parents found my bed empty. The window was wide open, the curtain blowing gently in the wind. And the room, they said, smelled of a perfume they'd never known, a scent that was strange, sweet, and utterly unfamiliar. No one ever found me.
2 months passed. Then, one stormy night, my father opened the front door to a sound
and found me standing on the porch, drenched in rain, a faint, knowing smile on my lips. My eyes were different, darker now, almost completely black. I didn't speak a single word. Since that day, I do nothing but sit by the window, staring into the night. Sometimes I laugh to myself, sometimes I whisper into the air, and all the while, a man's voice echoes faintly through the old house, a ghostly promise. "I told you, they can't separate us." The last time anyone saw me, I was smiling at the full moon, as if sharing a secret with it. In the morning, I was gone again. Some people in town say they still hear my voice calling from the old house on stormy nights. Others swear they've seen a girl at the window, her face pale in the moonlight, with a tall, dark shadow standing right beside her, whispering her name, Maryam. Thank you for listening to my story. If you enjoy tales of the strange and unexplained, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We have many more stories waiting for you in the shadows.